Thinking about building a house in 2026 in Sarasota County, well, you really only have two options. Option one is to buy a builder's spec house, or option number two is you get to fully design a floor plan and build a custom house that is tailored specifically to your lifestyle. And unfortunately, most people don't know the difference until it's too late and they spent thousands of dollars. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down everything you need to know about a custom house versus a spec house, the pros and cons of each, where each of them are located, and potentially give you guys some tips and tricks about what to expect when building a house in 2026. If you guys want our ultimate builder's guide for building a house in 2026, click the link down in the description down below. And if you guys are looking to relocate to Sarasota, Northport, Venice, Osprey, Nokomis, we have all of our dedicated buyers relocation guides in the description down below. But without further ado, let's pop into my computer and let's go through a line item by line item breakdown of custom houses versus spec houses in 2026. Building a house can be such a fun process, especially if you have not done it before. If you guys don't know me, my name is Noah. I'm a real estate broker associate here in the greater Sarasota area, and I do own a custom home building company, J Development Group, with my general contractor partner, Josh Willow, who's been in the business for about 20 years now, building houses and remodeling luxury condos out on Siesta Key and Longboat Key. I'm really excited to break down kind of what makes the difference between a spec house versus a custom house. I get people asking me that question all the time because they come with me with building designs. I got people reaching out to us left and right that have land that want to build on it. They want to work with us to try to figure out, okay, what are we going to do? And the first question is, are we building a spec house for you, or are we building a custom house? We're going to be breaking down the differences between the two, just because there is a huge significant difference when you are deciding to build here in Sarasota or greater Southwest Florida area in general. So what is a spec house? So I deem it a little bit different because spec house, the general terminology for a spec house is it's being built by a developer, right? It's being built by a builder already. So it's like, for me, our development company, JN Development Group, we have a piece of land, we're building a house on it, right? I put it up for sale with my brokerage, and it's basically us that's building it, funding it, everything. And then I get a buyer in. Hey, would you like this house? They're like, I love it. That's a spec house because a developer constructed it, a developer designed it, developer sold it, and that's a spec house. Now, there is also pre-designed floor plans with it. Hey, like for us, this is what we do. We have 8 to 10 different spec house plans that we call them. They're called the Express series, which are like, hey, we already have these all fully engineered, developed out, everything ready to go. You guys just provide the land and we'll build this house. You can't make any changes, but this is how we keep the cost down, is by doing these. Is they pick one, it's engineered, we know the exact cost, we can move forward with it, right? So the downside is that you don't get to get as creative with the structural side of things, but you get to be creative on the cosmetic design of everything. And then you have, this move-in ready houses, which you see in track house developments all the time, like Lennar, Centex, Pulte, Neil Communities, DR Horton, where you guys just walk into a community, HOA community, and you're like, I like that one. And they're like, that is for sale for $500,000. And it's move-in ready in the next 30 days. Boom, everything's done. You guys can move in, take occupancy really quick in the property, right? That's what a spec house is. So what exactly is a custom house? So let's go through and break down what really makes a custom house custom, so to speak. Well, it all first starts with the plans. You guys can either come to us with custom house plans. You guys can be like, hey, Noah, been watching you on YouTube for the last 3 years now. We actually had a client that just recently did that with us. Hey, been watching you for 3 years now. We're ready to start building a house with you because of all the stuff that you talk about in your YouTube channel. Fantastic. Let's get started. So then we pair you guys up with our architects, our engineers, to actually go through your needs and wants in a house. Then what happens is we create a floor plan for you guys, start to finish, from scratch, never built before, fully customized to your lifestyle. We start with that. We work with you on that. Then what we do is we take a look at, okay, what finishes are we putting in? Are we putting in quartz? Are we putting in engineered hardwood? Are we putting in marble? Are we putting in Cristallo countertops? Are we putting in backlighting? Are we putting in baseboard lighting? Are we putting in under cabinet mount lighting? What are we doing? Are we doing archways, 10-foot ceilings, 12-foot ceilings, 20-foot ceilings? What are we really doing for the design of the house? That's where we go for step 2. Then step 3 is like, okay, now we're really going into, okay, the exact finishes, right? Like, all right, let's go into the countertops. Let's go into the sink faucets. Let's go into the doors. Let's go into the lighting system. Let's go into the audio system. Okay, what kind of lighting accents are you looking to do on the exterior of the house? Where do you want the lights? Where do you want the can lights? Where do you want every pendant light in the house? It is really fully customizable to exactly what you're looking for. And we can go through, put in stuff that you would never see in a spec house, like Cristallo countertops. If you guys haven't seen them, Google Cristallo countertops. It's amazing. I think the most popular countertop right now coming in is Taj Mahal, which astronomically crazy expensive, but my GC found a fantastic substitute that is actually very high quality, but you don't get that Taj Mahal pricing as well. So realistically, like with a spec house, you can move in with a blink of an eye. You can move in pretty quick. Or they could be 30, 60 days out, but that's still a spec house. With construction, from the time you break ground to the time we give you guys the keys to a brand new house, for us, a 3,000 square foot house is taking us about 10 months to build, ground up, 10 months. If it's like the 6,000 square foot house that we're about to break ground on, it's probably going to be about 12 months because it's obviously a little bit bigger. It's on the water. It's going to be a little bit more intricate, more details. It's going to take us a little bit longer. So that's really the difference. Is custom is super customizable. Obviously, it's in the name. So if we're taking a look a little bit deeper into this, is the cost breakdown. So building a house, now I'm glad these showed up this time, but building a house over here, some people, you can build a house on the lower spec house side, meaning that you can go buy a house today for about, $180, $185 a square foot, no problem, pretty easy to go buy a spec house at that price. For the lower end, the more higher end spec houses, you're seeing that about $250 a square foot, right? Then you have some custom houses. Now this is where it gets skewed because this custom house pricing, $300 a square foot, is more the middle range for us in our decision. So we run our development company just a little bit different than most builders here in Sarasota County. We're not going to, we pride ourselves in focusing on quality over quantity, and we focus on making sure we can provide a great product at a lower price than what other builders are going to charge you. And that's just because Josh and I, that's how we built our business. That's how I've been able to get into real estate, is build a relationship over money, because when you build relationships, when you prioritize relationships, that's when the money comes. We're not greedy people. That's kind of that's our MO. But when you're talking to like other custom home builders, they're charging right off the bat $400, $500, $600 a square foot. High-end custom house builders like On the Water, they're charging $1,200 for their name a square foot, $1,500 a square foot. They're charging $800 a square foot. Just really depends on, once again, it's custom. It's custom to you, custom to your lifestyle, custom to your choices. It could range, and I will give you a range. It could range custom house, all in, impact fees, everything. Could cost you anywhere from $250 to $400 a square foot. Wide range, I understand, but that's because depending on your features, depending on your finishes, it's really going to change, right? So make sure you know that. Some other things that are built in, so like for us, we include impact fees, permit fees, all that good stuff. We include the lot prep, but these are some other stuff to consider here. So realistically, if we were not to consider all this, our prices would be probably a little bit lower, probably in like the 200 range to 300 range or 400 range or whatever that may be. But then you also have to account for the extra dirt that you may have to bring in, right? That could cost you $15,000 to $40,000. You have permit and impact fees, which a lot of people don't put into perspective. But depending where you are in Sarasota County, the permit fees can be anywhere from $7,000 to $9,000 for paperwork. And then your impact fee could be anywhere from, $15,000 or $12,000 to $20,000, depending on the size of the house. Once again, just for paperwork, your $30,000, $50,000, $50,000 deep into paperwork, paying for, the permits, acceptance, approvals, all that good stuff. Then you have the utility connections. The utility connections, water connection, if you're on water, city water, that could be a $5,000 to $7,000 connection to the city, versus a well, which you're drilling for about $9,000, $10,000 all in with the pump and everything. Then you have sewer. If you have sewer, you're in it for $8,000, $9,000 to connect to the sewer. And then you have landscaping. Depending on what you're doing for landscaping, you got a minimal landscaping package, you got a high-end landscaping package. Add that into the budget of about $10,000 to probably $50,000, give or take. So what are some advantages of spec houses? Because a lot of people are like, no, this is getting way too confusing. There's way too many costs to add up here, which that's what we do. We break it down as simple as possible when we meet up with you, so that you guys see all the numbers, fully transparent, stuff like that. So the advantages of spec houses is lower cost of entry. Obviously, if you're more budget conscious, spec house is the route to go. Faster timeline. You can move into a spec house within 60 to 90 days, realistically. It's fantastic for people that are relocating, moving from a job that they need to move in quick. They don't have to work, they just need to move in. They don't want to wait 12 months for a new construction house. The other thing is that financing is super easy on spec houses. You have to get special financing for new construction. If you guys haven't built a house before, you know that you need a construction loan, which construction loans comes with different structures, whether it's an ARM product, you got a 15-year fixed, you got a 30-year fixed, wide range, right? Interest rates are a little bit different. That's more of a creative process to go the custom home building route as far as financing goes. And then you already have, the floor plans with spec houses. You already know you can walk through the floor plan. You already know that you love it. While a custom house, it's a one of one, meaning you've never walked in. No one's ever walked this floor plan before. You're just trying to get a feel for what it looks like on paper. So some disadvantages to spec houses, however, is limited personalization. You just walk in and then you can make the home yours by adding the small paintings, furnishings, stuff like that. You can't change the cabinet design. You can't change the color design. You can't change the carpet. You can't do that unless you do it after the fact, right? So you have less personalized touches. You're usually going to be on smaller lots. You're usually going to be within HOA communities. So they are going to be a little bit more restrictive, especially on the exterior paint colors, the landscaping, stuff like that. Resale challenges. You could have run into a little bit of some resale challenges because for the first few years of the build out, you're going to be competing with builder prices. Right now, like for example, a resale product cannot compete with a builder product. So a builder could buy down your rate. A builder could offer you $30,000 in closing incentives. A builder can offer you $50,000 off the purchase price. A seller's not going to be able to give you $30,000 towards closing costs or buy down your rate as well, while being the exact same price. So it's a toss up in my opinion. It comes with the pros and cons, but once again, spec houses are a little bit more affordable for people. But on the flip side, we got custom houses, which advantages are freedom to do whatever you want. You can put in 25-foot ceilings, 26-foot ceilings if you really wanted to. We didn't advise it because of the echoiness and the acoustics, but you easily could do that without any problem. You get better location with custom house builds because you get to pick in more established communities, neighborhoods. Maybe you've owned the land for 20 years and you're finally ready to build that house. That's where you can build a custom house. And then you get higher resale value usually because it's a one of one house. It's unique. It's not a track home, not a cookie cutter house that you're going to see every day on the MLS. They tend to sell better. And then obviously you're built to stand a lifetime. In my opinion, custom houses, you can last 10 to 15 years without having to worry about touching something. A spec house, on the other hand, you're probably going to have to replace the carpet within about 2 years. I know this from personal experience. It's just the fact of the matter. Pros and cons. Custom houses, you can make them really hurricane proof. You can already have whole house generators. You can put in the impact glass. You can add the mechanical standing seam roof, which no HOA community here in Sarasota that I know of is automatically putting in mechanical standing seam roofs, which in my opinion just doesn't make sense because of the huge benefits and the insurance benefits that you get with that. So with that, though, with the advantages comes the downsides. you get a higher financial investment that you have to put up front. You're being charged more you're being charged a premium. And it's not that the builder's making more money off of you. It's because the materials are costing more because it's a one of one product. The labor's costing more because it's a one of one product. It's not a house that a trade has built 100 times over. And that's what I try to tell people is that when you're building a one of one, you're not going to get the exact same labor pricing as if it's a one of 1,000. You know, it adds to the complexity project management side of things. It's a little bit more tedious when you're coordinating with engineers, architects, the builders themselves, the subcontractors. And that's why you get us involved is Josh, my GC, is fantastic with getting subs in one after another after another. One of our clients just recently told him, was like, hey, Noah, like, I've been watching like the build of the progress of your build, and I've only seen probably less than a week out of this whole entire build where people are not on the job site, excluding the weekends, of course, but during the week. And that's just because Josh does a fantastic job banging out the subs, putting them in one after another, putting them on the calendar, making sure that our builds go as smoothly as possible. And then obviously you have a extended construction timeline. Building construction from permit approval, like I said, is about 10 to 12 months, depending on the size of your house. And then obviously any delays that we have with potential hurricanes. Like I said, down below, hurricane risk, permitting delays, cost of material fluctuations, all plays a huge role in custom home building. So what is going to be the best fit for your lifestyle? And that, a lot of people look at this is spec houses is really good for the budget conscious buyer that's really looking for great modern amenities, but under, that $500,000 price point. Custom homes are amazing for people that want more of that creativity, want to build that lifelong home without having to move in the next 5 years or whatever that may be. And yes, that is going to cost more than $500,000, more in the ballpark of $750,000 to $1.2 million. So I hope this gave you guys a little bit better of a perspective of a spec house versus a custom house, because each one serves their unique purpose, right? And that's kind of why, I got into real estate. I got my broker's license. I sold a lot of these spec houses because that's what people love to see on video. A lot of people love to see it on TikTok. And then I started the custom home building company with Josh because this is what people wanted. People want something a little bit more personalized. People want something a little bit bigger, not in an HOA, where they can customize it. That's why we started, so that we can control the custom side. So obviously, guys, if you guys are watching this video, you guys are looking at building a house or maybe buying a spec house, you guys are just curious. If you guys want to sit down with Josh and I to discuss your custom home build needs, specifically only for you, one of one, you guys can reach out to us with our contact information down below. And if you guys are looking at building or buying a spec house or an inventory house in one of these master plan communities, you guys can reach out and work with me and my team with our contact information down below as well. Just so you guys know, fully transparent with you guys. More than happy to help wherever I can to figure out what is going to be the best solution for you guys. Don't forget to download our buyer's relocation guides in the comment section down below. And then also, if you guys want to join our VIP list for all the new construction happening here in Sarasota County, click the link in the description as well. 100% free for all of my viewers as a thank you for watching us for the last 5 years. But with all that being said, guys, thank you guys again for everything, and we'll catch you guys next week.